So, generally speaking, I work with really smart, really successful women who, for whatever reason, haven't had time to learn how to date. In Indian culture, we are often encouraged not to date to avoid boys. And so, for most, if not all of my clients, they were told to like avoid boys their whole life. And it's like, especially in India, even if you play sports, you won't even interact with boys. Like when I'm in India, in the train, I'm in the women's compartment. At work, the men are so timid that they will just like avoid even talking to me. And even at the gym, like the gym is 95% men, but they're like so shy, they won't even come up to talk to me. So you just don't have any interaction with boys. And therefore, for most of my clients, no matter where in the world they grew up, they're starting from like zero dating experience. And here is how we help them find a husband from that starting point. So, number one, the first transformation begins by them realizing they need to do something if they want to have a kid. Like, we women don't need husbands, or you want husbands. Men are not stupid. Men know intuitively that they need a wife. Like, without a wife, they will have much lower life satisfaction and they tend to make more money. So men know, and this is why after a divorce, like the guy gets remarried immediately. In like no matter what the culture is. So men intuitively know they need a wife, but we women don't need a husband. We want a husband, but we definitely need a man. Like we need sperm to reproduce, right? So this is like the biggest driver for my clients. And like they're so focused on like, oh, I need like a very successful tall alpha male, and I'm like, no, you just need someone who's kind, who's going to treat you with kindness as the two of you are building your life and family together. So that's the first starting point, is getting clear on like want versus need. The number two thing is we make a list of everything that is needs to happen to make their marriage happen, because they're not looking for a boyfriend, they're not looking for someone with whom to go to movies and restaurants, they're looking for a life partner and to be married within the next 12 months. And this is where my USP comes in. Literally no other matchmaker actually does it. Most matchmakers will introduce you to someone and say good luck, but men need to be a little bit like pushed into marriage. For every single marriage I've been to, there's always some impetus, like it's a visa, or it's having kids, or the wife is like, I will leave you if you don't propose, the woman. So guys don't have a biological clock. So we have to create a biological clock for them by creating some reason that they must propose right now. And so that is my job as the matchmaker. And we start by creating that timeline and finally, and this is the most interesting part, so my clients, either they've never been married before in like their late 30s, early 40s, mid 40s, or they've had an arranged marriage organized by their parents, and now they are like figuring out dating for the first time ever. So they don't have any concept of spending on a partner, and I start from day one getting them to spend on the marriage they want to build. So when you're in a relationship, you spend a lot of money on your husband. Like it can be anything from buying books. Like one of my previous partners, he saw the pen that I was using, this really nice German pen. He's like, I want that. So one of my gifts to him was this like 30 euro pen, and I was like, man, like, I don't want to spend 30 euro on a pen for him. Like, one pen's already a lot. But I did it because I knew how happy it would make him, all the way to spending like 30, 50, $100,000 on a wedding. And we begin doing all of that, do all of this spending from day one. And it's based on the very simple manifestation principle that the best way to have the life you want is to start living it from today. So I teach my students to start buying clothes for the guy before they've even met him. Start paying for your wedding before you have met a single match. Like put down the deposit for the venue where you're going to have a wedding before you've committed to a single guy. We do all of this because that pinch of making those payments is so strong, it's so visceral for my students, these really smart women who've like never spent a cent on their love lives besides working with me, that it catalyzes their brain to say, oh my God, I have to do this. And then the brain, our like survivor, caveman, cavewoman brains, start scanning the environment for like who can help me achieve this project. And then they will figure out who's the right partner for them by themselves through the entire process happens based on the individual's lifestyle, values, and mindset. So I have a client in India who she's like, oh, I love my city. And so she's organizing everything in her city, the city where she lives. I have another client who comes from a really wealthy family and she's grown up with luxury. So everything is done according to luxury standards, like from A to Z. Then I've got another client who her life is just about being a digital nomad and everything is travel, 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 travel. She's never in one city for more than a few weeks. So all of the work we do, from matches to wedding planning to organizing her schedule, is based on her passion for travel. And then another of my clients in the past, she was like, I am happy living in Paris, but I don't see myself living here. Like, I want to move. And so she ended up meeting a guy in another country, and now they live in a different country. Now they live. The point being that if you are stuck using dating apps, like, dating apps cannot think for you. Dating apps are based on AI, and AI is wrong 66% of the time. I love using AI in my work, in my personal life. I use it all day, every single day. It's brilliant. But it's a tool. It's not a brain. Like, AI is not, there's no thinking, there's no intuition. And marriage, who you marry, is 50% logic and 50% intuition. You have to be able to hear what your heart is telling you about who's right for you, and you have to make a lot of choices leading up to that wedding based on logic and numbers. That is why you need to work with an expert professional if today you're struggling, because dating apps for sure cannot get you to a wedding. And even if you work with another matchmaker, 100% of them will give you matches. 0% of them will make sure you get to the altar, which is what we want. We're here for the ring, ladies. So comment match below and apply to work with me. I'm literally the only one who does this.